Everyone, settle into your chair. This is a little bit of a read. 108 supporter Bennett Carroll asked the group if anyone had read the A-Rod sex story over on Reddit. So no one responded, really. I went to check it out for science, of course, and it was hilarious. So I'm going to read it to you because most people didn't read this because it was buried amongst a lot of comments on the Daryl Strawberry I fucked a girl's story that just came out this past week. So actually, the guy said he had bought some really good tickets at a Lakers game, and they were like courtside or something. And during the courtside time, or during the halftime, they went up to go get a drink. One of the ushers came over and gave the girl that he had taken as a date a number from a player and said, "Hey, I think you're attractive. Maybe you should come hang out with me in my hotel after the game." And the girl kind of brushed it off. It's like, yeah, that happens, whatever. And the guy was like, what the fuck? I just spent some money. Now some guy's trying to take my money. So this girl, Amy, had a housewarming party, and people were sitting around the table, and they were drinking. Amy had her friends over, and this was a few weeks after the Lakers game, and it was amusing them with the story of how weird it was that something like that not only is attempted, but apparently works. The girl, let's call her Mandy, chimed in, and she was had one with a baseball encounter. Without me asking, and very little hesitation, she pours herself a shot, throws it back, and launches into the story. This is the first bullshit part of the story. Okay? No girl goes, well, if I'm going to tell it, I better have this shot of fucking, whatever. No one does that. Mandy got herself invited to a Yankees game. It was 2005, and by some guy that was trying to fuck her. The guy ended up having to bail last minute for some stupid work thing, so she had 4 tickets that were ridiculously stupid close to the field. Just for a frame of reference, Mandy is easily the most effortlessly attractive person I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in real life. With no makeup and basically throwing clothes on, Mandy was basically by default the best looking person in any room she went into. Really cool chick too. Loved singing Lion King while hammered, Great White Buffalo, etc. Anyway, she ended up talking to 2 of her friends and a dude that was dating one of them, taking 2 of her friends and a dude that was dating one of them to the game. Sometime during the game, an usher came up to her and asked if she could follow them. Thinking something was wrong, I guess they weren't sitting in their exact seats for comfort, blah, 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 she followed the usher up to the concourse. A woman was waiting for them there looking about as happy as you would expect a woman to look if she was being asked to be a personal booty call messenger. Mandy asked, "What's wrong?" and if there was a problem. The woman replies, "Here, this is from you. Mr. Rodriguez saw you in the crowd and would like to meet you. Call this number if you would like to accept any time after the game is over." Mandy, like fucking Alex Rodriguez? Woman, yes, fucking Alex Rodriguez. This is why I like telling the story in person. She basically gave the most sarcastic fuck you sigh and response ever, just like kindly sharply turned and just left. So Mandy is kind of thrown for a loop. She was handed a business card, I don't remember if she told me what was on the card, with a phone number. Mandy grabbed a beer, found her seats again, and told her friends what just happened. Everyone didn't believe her at first. She showed them the number, and then they thought it was the funniest thing ever. After a long silence, her BFF says, "Well, I mean, you gotta do it, right?" Mandy was single at the time, and apparently, according to her, it had been a while, so she decided to have a few drinks and think it over. Third part of bullshit of the whole story. She's the hottest chick in the room. She ain't getting fucked.
It's been a while.
All right. Don't get it.
You don't know how long it's been a while is, though, for a hot chick. It might be like 3 days. Yeah.
No, that's okay. That could be true, right? Timing, but I have never known an incredibly hot chick that can't go out and go, "Hey, you know what? You want to fuck?" And some guy won't be like, "Yeah, let's fuck." It's not like a dude, like an ugly dude, especially going out. "Hey, would you like to fuck?" And they're like, "Fuck you, I'm calling the cops." I mean, it's a way different world, right? So anyway, Mandy was single at the time, and apparently, according to her, it had been a while, but she decided to have a few drinks and thinking, apparently, the entire rest of the game, all 4 of them were just staring at A-Rod whenever he went trying to catch a glimpse of him looking in the direction, winking at her, anything. They looked like creepy stalkers. Anytime he would emerge from the dugout, they would be like, "Oh shit, there he is. He's totally going to look over here." Nothing. He didn't do so much as glance in that direction of the crowd the entire game. Mandy was 100% certain she was being fucked with. The game ended and her friends urged her to call a number. Anyway, because why not? It's probably fake. Whatever. She calls. Someone answers the phone with a quick, "May I help you?" She says, yeah, hi. I was given this number by an usher. The dude cuts her off. "Where are you at right now?" Mandy tells him she's in front of the stadium. The guy tells her to walk somewhere close by, and he will be there shortly. So kind of wary of what's going on, and even if it's even legit, she's getting murdered, or she takes her friends to the spot, right? The dude pulls up, big black dude, introduces himself to Mandy and friends. He explains that he will take Mandy at the party's request, and he will stay close by. He gave the friends his number in case to contact him, just if they wanted an update. And he told everyone just to make sure that she was safe. Mandy looks at her BFF, who just looks at her with this huge smile and goes, "Well, I mean, you have to, right?"
Who is this best friend?
Right. BFF.
I guess you have to, right?
I guess you gotta do it. So Mandy had what my grandfather would say, "Fuck it, YOLO" moment. She hopped in the car and blah, blah, blah. Apparently, it took a while to get wherever they were going, and Mandy was having some serious second thoughts. She got a decent amount of texts from her friends telling her to bail if anything got weird.
Oh, boy.
You just threw your friend in the car because telling her that you need to do it, and they're like, hey, if shit gets weird,
20 minutes later,
just run away.
Yeah.
hey, go do this. If it possibly gets weird, which is absolutely going to happen, you should probably bail.
So they arrived. The driver called over a valet dude, told him something quietly, and slipped him something. The valet told Mandy to follow him. He led her to an elevator and told her which floor to get to and what to do when she arrived. Apparently, the secret sauce is to knock slowly 3 or 4 times. I was let down by that. I kind of wanted some kind of secret password by biogenesis or something like that. But I digress. That's another reason why we know this is fake. Mandy follows directions and knocks as she is told. Apparently, freaking the fuck out was a massive understatement, and she told me that she seriously considered sprinting to the stairs if anything looked remotely weird. Someone who isn't A-Rod answered the door. Sprinting was suddenly a viable option. Apparently, it was some kind of personal assistant. He told her that Alex is inside in the bedroom and leaves after letting her in. So Mandy gathers herself and goes forward. In the bedroom, she finds A-Rod sitting on the end of a bed on a laptop watching one of his at-bats. Mandy says, "Hi, I heard you wanted to meet me." A-Rod doesn't even acknowledge her for a pretty sizable, awkward amount of time. He's just sitting there rewinding and playing back the same at-bat over and over. Right when she thinks she should leave, he closes the laptop, stands up, and puts on the most fake big smile ever and walks up to her. He introduces himself as Alex and shakes her hand and then walks out of the room. Mandy has no idea what to do. If she should stay, anything. So she just stands in the same spot awkwardly, just kind of waiting. A-Rod comes back in just a towel, and he sits on the bed and motions her, Mandy, to sit next to him. She does, and at this point fully admits he's an incredibly good-looking man in person and was pretty much instantly into it when she saw Towel Rod. And then they exchange about a minute of pleasantries. Towel Rod. So Mandy, where are you from? Mandy, L.A. Are you a Yankees fan? Not really. Are you an A-Rod fan? Sure, I guess. Apparently this whole time, this super huge fake smile never left his face. That's great. At this point, his face completely changes. He takes off his towel. His attitude gets straight to business. I don't like being touched. No touching. I want you to play with yourself and sit at the end of the bed. Like right now? Yes. I have a day game tomorrow. I have to make this quick. So yeah, I guess she disrobes and sits on the edge of the bed. A-Rod lays against the headboard and starts going to town on his nipples. Like hard nipple play right out the gate. At this point, she reiterates that A-Rod is a very good-looking man, and honestly, she's done weirder. Okay, fourth part of bullshit. Hot chicks ain't doing weird shit in the bedroom. Like, this is probably not happening.
My socks on. I just want to let you know I'm hooked in, and I believe every single word of this so far. Let's keep going. It might get weird later, and I won't believe it, but I'm not sure.
So she starts doing her thing and just adjusts her position on the bed a bit, moving her legs. Apparently, she brushed one of A-Rod's legs in the process, and which prompts him to give her a very stern, no touching quip. So I guess he goes to fucking town on his nipples for a few minutes. He asks her to play with her own nipples, then requests she gets more aggressive. A-Rod is important to mention, was soft basically this whole time. When she starts some nipple play and giving her his best sexy voice, he starts to get his little guy going. She tells her, "Please don't look at me." So Mandy's now staring at the wall, going to town on herself. I tried really hard not to touch A-Rod. Very shortly after she hears, turn around and don't move, A-Rod blows what was apparently an earth-shattering enormous load on her back. She felt as if he was emptying an Elmer's glue bottle on my back. Okay, edit. Just to clarify, they had never had sex or really even touched each other at this point. When he's done being a one-man glue factory, he says incredibly firmly, not move. Do not move. She feels him towel her back off with an incredible amount of detail. Then he just leaves the room again. Mandy sits at the end of the bed and just kind of waits. She doesn't quite know what to do, and she's already naked and revved up, so she's hoping there's a bit more to this. A-Rod comes back out, fully clothed, and sits on the end of the bed and opens the laptop right back up, hits play, and goes back to watching his at-bat. Mandy asks, so I guess that's it? A-Rod, yeah, I have an early start time. You understand. My assistant is waiting outside and he can help you leave. I would appreciate if this was between you and me. So she leaves. When she opens the door, the same assistant is waiting for her. He leads her to the lobby where the driver is waiting, and he leads her to the car and takes her where she requests to meet back up with her friends. And that's it. A-Rod is apparently super into nipple play, but really isn't a huge fan of touching and being looked at. Super fucking weird, but amazing story. No, the guy had no way to confirm this. Some details might be fucked up because it's been a long ass time. I have no reason to believe Manny would lie to me, blah, 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 and her friends have confirmed everything. I think that's total horse shit. What fucking hilarious.